The purpose and value of an engineer organization is first and foremost to design an organizational structure that fits the company today and fits where it's going to be in the future, and in a purposeful way. Most companies grow organically and defensively. They hire people as they need them. They move people into slots, hoping that they're ready for that slot. The engineer organization takes a diametrically opposed approach. It says, if you have a plan, and you should have a plan, you have a plan for growth, development, new products, you should be able to look at that plan and say, this is what that plan is going to do for us, and this is where it's going to take us a few years from now. And so if we can step out 5 years, which would be a common period of time, we should be able to develop an organizational chart, leave the boxes blank, whose name is in that box, and take each box and say, for where we're going to be 5 years from now, we need these boxes at this level. Titles, vice president of this, vice president of that. What are the skill sets that we should have in those positions? What are the capabilities, the experiences, the behavior types that we need in each of those positions? So we've looked out 5 years, and we've defined what the ideal organization would be for us. There's going to be gaps between that and where we're headed today. But once we have that map, if you will, of the ideal organization, the value it brings is that we can back up to today, and we can take individuals and say, this is the ideal career path for that person. We could grow them into that space in the organization. We can sit down with them and talk to them about, do you aspire to that? Is that what you want to grow into? And here's what, if the answer is yes, here's what it's going to take. So the value is that instead of growing organically with our organization and growing defensively, and as a position or a need occurs, and in fact the need occurred some time ago and we just haven't caught up with it, and have an organization that is perpetually compromised in one place or another, or multiple places. In reality, without changing the people, but changing the way we approach development, changing the way we approach career pathing, changing the way and the timing of the education and planning for their growth and development, and in those cases where we need to recruit, starting the recruiting process early enough, because we know well in advance the kind of roles that we're going to need to fill, we have absolutely the opposite effect. We've always, in that case, by engineering the organization, we always have the right people with the right skill sets in the right seats on the bus, and we probably have them there in advance of having needed them. So we've got, if you want to think about it, an excess of intellectual property that we're able to deploy in the organization, instead of always being behind the curve in terms of skill sets and intellectual property. I will tell you absolutely that if you look at high-performing companies, if they're a high-performing company for a long period of time, there's a few things that they always have. High-performing, the best-performing companies always have a good organizational structure and a good process for developing people. They have a strategic plan. They have a good internal communication plan in the organization for what we do, why we do it, where we're going. And they have a good career path planning process for people. And good people are attracted to an environment where they have a sense of opportunity for growth. So again, sort of back to that top 20% thing. Top 20% companies always are doing some form of organizational engineering, whether they call it that or whether they do something else. So we're, at Decision Associates, we're bringing that top 20% mentality to all of our clients all the time.